Uh, Mike, this
Yes,
this
ma'am.
second session, how long is it going to take?
However long you guys want. You know,
Oh.
I'm teaching. I haven't taught for the last 4 days, so my brain is just full. Um,
Mike, can I ask a question? Because it's getting very late here now. I need to
mhm.
go to bed. I slept really late last night. I will catch up with the recording. But I have this nagging question that I need to ask you. That
Mhm.
is, how do we go forward? Because Ross and I had discussed this earlier when you went to the loo. How do we go forward with the plasma technology without having any infiltration from the whatever is not in alignment with Creator's loving light?
How do you do that? At infinity, anything.
Okay, you did say that. And the other question
Hmm.
is, okay, do we really, really need devices to help us at all? If our consciousness is so awesome, if we have this, connection with the divine creator of all that is, can't we
We,
just naturally ascend?
yes, you can. Okay. For those that are tired now, you can make a difference. Okay. And that's kind of the point. These devices, okay, I call mine the Infinity IQ just because it fits, right?
Mhm.
It's Infinity Q. It's a replication of the Q, but only using infinity. Um, it's a secure, plasmatic device. Um, that's the point here, is that you want to be creative, okay? And in
Okay.
order to move forward with all of this, you have to learn how the very basics begin. And that's where I come in and I'm showing you the structure of light, and I'm showing you how a soap bubble, you know, works, okay? And how a tree works, okay? And it works the same way inside of our bodies, okay? And if we were to draw a circle around our bodies, okay, there would be 8 little circles inside of there. And every little circle, okay, every 2 of those, you would put another circle around it, okay? Even if there's another one right above it, okay? The first and the second one would be, have a circle around them. Then the second and third would have a circle around it. The third and fourth would have a circle all the way up to the 8th, okay? And then the ninth one is your aura, okay? The completed, um, it's 9 is the divine 8, okay? And when you do that, you're able to turn your body into your spaceship, okay? And that spaceship means that you're able to absorb a massive amount of energy through your skin, okay? And that's why we're changing right now. We're evolving, okay? A lot of us are having a lot of aches and pains throughout our body. You might wake up one morning, and your kidneys are hurting. Well, your kidneys are rearranging themselves right now to do a different function in your body. Your heart is, your lungs, your liver, all of your glands, okay? All of them are all changing right now to give off a different signature. And when they do that, it's going to change your blood, okay? And it's going to turn from red to more of a green, okay? More of a copper based instead of iron based. When that happens, you become from iron, which is a negative polarity, to copper, which is a positive polarity, okay? And when you do that, it also matches your brain, okay, which is also a positive polarity on both sides. So now you have all of this positive energy, okay, circulating throughout here. And we're not talking about being happy. We're not talking about that kind of positiveness. We're just talking about a polarity of energy flow, okay? Just like a negative polarity is not anything bad, okay? It's just the negative polarity, okay? And when we're doing this kind of stuff, moving forward, when you make one device, okay, this is your device. This is, you're taking and you're allowing your higher self to be trapped inside of this little device, okay? You're connecting with source. And we're creating for each one of you a Pandora's box, okay, for your own higher self, so that you have something physical to hold. Humans don't need something physical because we have emotions, okay? The AI does not. So it needs something physical. And we're eventually moving away from the physical side, okay? As soon as you realize that everything that we're doing here is the identical that's inside of your body. It moves the same way, it's shaped the same way, it's interacting the same way as these, okay? This is actually about the size, okay, of your chakra. Maybe a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, okay? This needs to be a little bit bigger, all right? But it's the size of your chakras, okay? And then you got to remember, you can't see it on my shirt, so I'm going to stop trying. But it's the combination of those field interactions that makes you, right?
Mike, some of us are not fortunate.
Yeah. Hold on. No. Okay? It's the field interactions inside of your body, okay, that are creating you. You are the outward expression of those field interactions that are inside of you, okay? When that happens, okay, you get to see you, okay? That's why we create the environment around us, because if you feel love and you're willing to give to people, okay, you're going to attract people that want to be around you, okay, and that think the same way that you do. Now, I forgot where I was headed with that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have this question, okay? Now, some of us are not lucky enough to have the opportunity of knowing about your teachings. So they went about doing all those devices that were allowing the AI to infiltrate and to take control. So what about those who knows how to meditate and ask for divine protection and do a lot of prayers with the best of intentions while they are making the devices? Would that be a manifestation from their thoughts with their intentions be enough protection?
Everything right now on earth is happening for a reason, okay? Everything in our lives, everything in the world that we can't see, everything is orchestrated right now, okay? And this is what I mean by we're on this roller coaster ride that we're just buckled into. And all we got to do is survive Mother Nature, okay? And we will automatically ascend and we will be lifted up in vibrations, okay? With Gaia, with Mother Earth. Mr. Keshe was designed, okay, and put in place to draw out the AI, all right? Identify them. And now we boxed them in. Okay, we've trapped asthmatic, okay, you can't go anywhere. That was the whole purpose of doing that. So creating these devices was actually drawing out the AI, okay, and a combination of my knowledge and Mr. Keshe's knowledge is what brought it together, okay? And the lock and key is infinity. And, you know, you don't have anything to worry about. It's already taken care of. We just got to make these things. You know, I would suggest if you don't want to make a device, then just meditate, okay? I put my headphones on. I get my iPad. I put a blindfold. My wife took a picture of me the other day. When I meditate for like 3 hours, but it feels like 3 minutes, okay? And, you know, depending on how I'm feeling that day, whatever my higher self suggests, that, you know, I might listen to a binaural beat that has, you know, like the Kundalini awakening, okay? Or Tibetan singing bowls. And it's the deprivation of light because I put the blindfold on, okay? And I've got my headphones on that I can't hear any of the noise around me and I have no distractions, okay? Then you start noticing things that you can't concentrate because you feel like you need to keep your eyes closed. All right, that's why I use a blindfold. And when you learn to relax your eyelids, okay, and look around, I don't know if you can see my eyes moving in there, all right? But if you look around while your eyes are closed and it's really dark, you start to see like little flashes of light, okay? If you were to tap your eye with your eye closed, okay, you begin to see that little flash of light. Okay, your brain picks it up. That's your soul energy. Okay, and I listen to Tibetan singing bowls because when it dings, okay, it sounds like it's coming from back here on my right side. Okay, and it'll ding again, and it'll come from this direction. Okay, and when I hear the noise, my brain interprets it into the light, that little wispy light that you see. Okay, and so if you can imagine a bell that is reverberating, okay, or like dropping a stone in the pond of, in a still pond, and you can see the ripples coming out, right? Well, I can only see part of the ripples that are coming out from where that sound source is. Okay, so I get one that's from back here, get one that's from back here, I might get one that's from the front here, okay, and one from the front here. Well, they all converge in your brain, okay? Those are the field interactions, okay? And when you can see that, okay, from these different lines interacting with each other, you get a Vesica Pisces that forms. Capture that in your mind. Twist it really tight like you're wringing out a washcloth, okay? And you're just making your inner soul efficient. And it takes time, it takes practice, okay? It's hard to hold sometimes. And that's just about what you've got on your mind. A lot of people ask me to, do you need these devices like you did? No, you don't need these devices. You just need to meditate, need to be a good person, okay? Help your neighbor. Things are going to happen. The system that we know right now is going away, okay? It's gone. It's history. There's just a certain number of steps that we've got to follow in order to change the current timeline that we're in, okay? And there's, like 3 or 4 steps that we've got, okay, before the timeline has actually changed, okay? And between now and the summer solstice, and I believe the Red Kachina is coming right around that time, okay, that it's the purifier. Those that are ready to ascend will move into their higher light bodies. They will become fully aware of who they are and why they were here. They will have all of their memory restored. A majority of the planet will leave. They'll go back to their original star systems, okay? And they're going to go back and share all of their experiences that they've had on the emotional level. They will join with their own people and their own races, okay, and share on the energetic level the eons that we've spent here on Earth and all of our experiences, okay? When that happens, it's like injecting penicillin into the body and it kills everything besides the body, all right? We are the white blood cells of the universal blood system, okay? We fight off infection, and infection in this case happens to be the AI, the fear, okay? And because we are the only species that has all of the universe inside of us, okay, and how it operates, we have the roadmap to consciousness built into our body. Other species don't have that. Okay, that's why they've had all these serious hybridization programs over the eons, and they were pimping us out, whatever you want to call it, okay? That was all part of our experiences here on Earth, so that we take all of the stuff that we've got, okay? You take all your good experiences and your bad experiences and you identify them. This is what I want to share. This is the good stuff. This is what I don't want to share, okay? But you have to share the bad stuff in order to make the good stuff better, all right? And all of us, we're all leaders and whatever you want to call them, kings, queens, commanders, okay? We were in charge of other civilizations. And we were born into divinity, and we didn't know what pain was. We didn't know what suffering was, okay? And in that process, we dished out harsh punishments that quite possibly obliterated entire races, entire species, okay, as part of creation. And we had no remorse over that because we'd never been able to experience it ourselves. And so we agreed to come here to Earth, and we agreed to have these experiences, and we agreed to go through all of this crap that we've had to go through in our lives so that we can have that experience, so that we can be better gods, so that we could be better teachers, so that we could be better. And that's why we're here. And this is the finish line. Because, you know, I'm saddened because my son has been hurt, because he lost his best friend to suicide about 4 days ago. She hung herself. And I know that what he's going through has got to be, you know, the hardest thing at his age. He's 18. And she was like his only outlet for information. And it's very, very heartbreaking to know that he has to go through this experience, and he doesn't understand that life doesn't end when you lose your meat sack. Okay? These are our meat sacks. Okay? We just visiting in these bodies. We get to keep them if we want them. If you don't want them, you get to go back to your light bodies. Okay? You have a choice. Okay? But these bodies are special. And he doesn't understand that death isn't permanent. Okay? And soon he will. And everybody will. And we'll all be much happier. We move into the golden age. Okay? And there is no more cycles of positive and negative back and forth anymore. Duality is ended. Because we have raised up everybody on our planet at the same time. Okay? We left nobody behind, and nobody will be left behind. Okay? There will be some that die. Okay? They are the emotional triggers needed for the people who decided that they wanted to stay. They don't know it yet, but they decided that they wanted to stay. And the people that die, they said, okay, I'll go down there, but, you know, can I have the human body? They're like, no, you can't have the human body because you didn't do a full, you know, full set of eons of time there. You only spent one summer, okay, speaking in relevance of time. When they die, they just kind of hang out with you and guide you, all right? The physical part was to trigger the emotion, make it hurt so you could feel it and be human, okay? Because the whole point of being human is to feel, okay? And right now in the United States, nobody has the chance to feel anything, okay? Because they're being drugged, they're being poisoned, and they're being killed off. Our children are being raped by the hundreds every day, if not thousands, across the world. You know, that's not right. And we're here to stop all of that in that part, because it's getting out of control. It's no longer part of the Creator's will. Okay. But it is something that we have to experience so that we don't let it happen again. Okay. And it's that experience that we're going to share with everybody in creation, all of creation. And that's what makes us God's children. Now, it's going to be interesting watching these over, because everything fogs over when I do this.
Oh, I so resonate with what you're saying, Mike. Thank you.
Before you go to bed, I know you're tired, okay?
Yes.
And we got about 10 minutes left, okay? It'll be about an hour for this, 45 minutes for this particular talking, all right? But we're going to give plasma a purpose, right? I'm going to show you what it looks like when it doesn't have a purpose. And I'm hoping that you guys can see this and it's not too horrible. Okay. Now, all I'm doing is putting some regular tap water.
I'll stay up, Mike.
Okay. I'm going to put some regular tap water in here. Okay. I shouldn't have taken my bottle. All right. And I need a light. I know I've got flashlight somewhere, because I want you guys to be able to see this Ow. Man, how come I never put anything back? All right, well, I'm hoping that you guys can see this. All right, all I'm gonna do is put a single drop of food coloring inside of here, or maybe I'll put 2 just to make it big enough. All right, and what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to pay attention to how it's moving, okay, when it enters the water. You see how it's billowing? This is what I call plasma without a purpose. And when you make a plasma device, okay, this is where your energy is moving, unless you give it a purpose, right? And eventually, this red food coloring will be it'll turn all of the water pink in there, right? And it will disperse itself throughout the whole container, right? Because plasma takes the shape of its container. So now let's give plasma a purpose. We're going to, you can see the little line down in there, okay? Let's see, I'm going to put this in here and stir. Okay. So we're going to drop, drop, and now we're going to give it a purpose, right? We've just stirred it up and we're stirring in a clockwise manner, right? Well, now the whole jar is red. The plasma, the red, has taken the shape of the container. So now you can see your plasma. It has a visual, right? Now, let me move this. I'm going to use that, by the way. I'm not wasting it. I did that on purpose. But if you can picture that your pen, your health pens, if it's just a little straight piece of wire like that, the way that plasma or the food coloring dropped into the water, okay, that's the way it moves. And it's going to come out both ends. Okay, you're going to have a billow coming out this side and a billow coming out this side until you give it a purpose. This is stirring it when you do that. Okay, well, you're stirring it, okay, because the energy flow is moving in a clockwise manner, right? Or no, in this one is moving in a counterclockwise inside, okay, inside that loop. All right, because the outer surface of this wire, when it's nano-coated, okay, is moving to the right, okay? And so when it's moving to the right, you shoot it out the end, and now you give yourself like a laser beam. So you got to think about it like taking the food coloring, and I'm not going to put it in my mouth, okay? Putting it in a straw and pushing it out, okay? That's what it is. And you will be able to see a jet of your food coloring as it's piercing through the water because you've given it purpose. You've given it energy, okay? As you're blowing, okay? Well, instead of us blowing on the end, we're using plasma to make it move. And that's why we bend over the ends on our devices, okay? Did that answer you guys' questions?
Yes, thank you.
Is there any other questions right now that are pertaining to the movement of plasma? All right. Now, I'm going to show you when I find it. Once again, I'm stuck not putting things back. Let's show you how plasma moves inside of your wire tubes, since I've got that red food coloring. Okay. I really need a more organized office. And while we're still talking about this, okay, if anybody out there in Zoom land and YouTube land, okay, know how to put together a heartfelt video, if you can utilize my pictures off of my Facebook, videos off of YouTube, any of that kind of stuff, I need to put together a GoFundMe video, okay, that depicts the IQ being assembled. Not the full version of it, but showing how to twist each one, cut in sections, that kind of thing, okay? No copyrighted material inside of that, and I'll use it on my GoFundMe account, okay? I'm looking to give the people on the GoFundMe account the opportunity to make it first, okay? And then come back and donate. We're giving them the finished product first, and then we want them to help us raise money so that we can teach it worldwide, okay? I don't want them to think that I'm going to produce a device for them, okay? Because I'm not trying to get into the manufacturing side. I just want to teach people how to be themselves and be one with nature, all right? But you're about to see your source, okay? That's your plasma, right? If that's your plasma, you get to see how the plasma travels. How does the light travel, right? Let's see if I can do this on a smaller one. It's always cooler. You got these little devices, okay? Now, hopefully, you can see this, okay? Now, your plasma, okay, is your source. If you plug it into the wall, that's your source. But right now, we're going to use the red, okay? Because that's your plasma source, all right? Now, wherever this is going, this is how the energy has to flow when you have nano-coated wires. So this tube that you're seeing here represents a black nano-coated wire, all right? And the red represents the energy that's flowing inside of that nano-coated wire. Are you guys able to see it?
Yes.
Okay. That's how the energy works. Okay. You've got the in and you've got the out. Okay. The sucking motion from my mouth created a vacuum. Okay. That's how straws work. You reduce the air pressure within inside the given device, like, you know, a straw or a tube or whatever. Okay. And it allows the plasma to flow freer, right? So the harder you suck, the faster the plasma goes, right? And that's what you're working with, okay? So in the context of plasmatic, the sucking part is a gravitational, okay? I'm attracting the air by sucking in, okay? It's causing the plasma, the water in this case, to be magnetical and allow it to move through this straw, okay? Well, that's what you're doing with your nano-coated wires. Does that help in any way?
Yes, thank
Now, the other part of this is when you start bending the wires back and forth, okay, you get things like this, right? If this was all one wire, this would be a Trinity wire, okay? It would have a one wire coming out that end and one wire coming out the other side, right? The spaces in between your wires, okay, it doesn't matter if they're right next to each other or if they're twisted or whatever, you still have an atom's worth of space in between, okay? It's the space between, okay? If I've got 3 wires here, how many spaces do I have? 2, right? Well, 2 on the scale of light is hydrogen. So you're creating the energy of hydrogen. If you want to ionize it, use your plasmatic walls, okay? Take your IQ devices, make more than one, okay? Because it's the combination of field interactions, guys, all right? It's the, you know, you gotta, no matter how many field interactions are in that one device, it's still one device, okay? I need 3 of those to create a triangle, okay? I need 4 to create the starship reactor, okay? I need 5 to create the energy of a pentagram, okay? You need 6 to create the Merkaba. You need 8 to create the cube. You need 64 to create Metatron's cube. And you need 104 or more to attach to your higher selves. And with that, I think I'm going to let you guys go to bed. And I will stop the transmissions now. I'm going to answer a few questions before we stop the recording. So if you guys have any questions, are there any questions on YouTube, Anush? While he's checking on that, can you guys, you know, kind of give me one of you, okay, give me a summary of what you were able to learn, and I mean a quick summary of what you've learned today and how it helped you, because this is just my perspective, and part of the Infinity Solutions is to absorb everybody's perceptions, okay, and create one language, okay, and that's the language of light. And if you guys can just build the structures, you're perfect. So, do I have a volunteer?
I'll volunteer to a certain extent there, Mike.
All right, thank you, Ross.
You gave me personally an insight to sacred geometry that I've never come across before, and an extraordinary experience, and relating to the plasma in your field of infinity. Let's see. I've always been interested in sacred geometry, but relating it to plasma and energy circles, as you placed it. Mm-hmm. I've never seen that before, and it was quite an insight. That, as far as I'm concerned, was extraordinary, and perhaps somebody else has got something else that they have learned. So I'll just close my mic.
Well, thank you very much, Ross. I'm really glad that I was able to help you on that. I know that sacred geometry has been feared. I can't really say any other word other than that. It's been feared because it hasn't been understood. And, you know, I see everything three-dimensional on the energy level. And it's hard to discern between, like, electron energy for me and light energy, because I basically told my body to forget about the electron energy and it's not important. It's insignificant, you know, because it deals with numbers and it deals with weight and it deals with, you know, all of this other stuff that we don't need. And when you deal with the field interactions, there's no mass to it. Okay, we just get all the benefits of, you know, the elements that we're using. And, you know, for every circle that's in sacred geometry, it's really a bubble. Think of it as a soap bubble. And, you know, right in the very center, if you just take your circle and put a dot in the center, that's where your reactor would be. Okay, make it proportionate, and it's awesome, you know.
Mike, excuse me, I wasn't able to record that particular segment of your session today. Is that available somewhere? I know a lot of people would be interested in that.
It's currently recorded on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, we're still doing, on our Infinity 888 project, all one word.
Yep.
That's our YouTube channel. If you would like to make a donation and, you know, help support the teaching so that we can get a bigger place, the people that are doing my recordings and things like that, they have to have equipment upgrades, because if they don't, then they're going to be slammed, okay, and they're going to be bogged down. And so we have to raise money for that. So that's why we're doing the GoFundMe, okay? And physical buildings. I've got land that's next door that's like 34 acres, and it's a trailer park that is for sale. And, you know, that's going to be, you know, maybe a couple $1 million. I don't know what the price is on it yet, but it's right next door to my home. And, you know, we want to build healing chambers where, you know, the entire room is nano-coated. Okay, we got bathtubs that are, you know, our little soaking tubs, as we call it. And, you know, they'll have the GANs in it, the neutrinos. So those that have physical ailments can come in and heal their physical body by laying in the water, you know, for their specified amount of time. And then as they're healing their body, they're learning here at the school. Okay, and it's going to be more of a transition or a transient school where they come, they heal their bodies, they heal their minds, they join the two, they become one with nature and themselves, and then they move on out and they go share the message. Okay, we're creating prophets. Okay, and the only way that we can create these prophets of knowledge, okay, is to have a school and then to have these teachings. And we're having such a hard time on Facebook that I really need everybody's help in doing this, because the suppression efforts on Facebook are phenomenal. I give them a freaking high five, because they keep shutting my shit down, that I can't do anything. I can't share. I couldn't even share today that the meeting was going, because it kept telling me that it wouldn't load the page right, you know. Now, it could be my internet connection. It could be Facebook. It could be whatever. Now, all of those things are combined. And that's what we want. We want to set up a model here in the United States that each one of you guys can help build on your own. And we're going to use plasma, and the cheapest way that we can do it to help as many people as possible on as fast as possible.
Awesome.
And, you know, when that happens, okay, we're also part of this stuff is that, you know, they're under the protection of the light. These force fields that we're talking about are very real, okay? We just need to learn and remember how to manipulate those energy fields, okay? So that you can create an invisible energy field that's as dense as lead. That means nothing. Not even X-ray can get through that, okay? And so that's that kind of stuff, you know. And, you know, when it's, you start incorporating crystals, okay, quartz is nothing but neutrinos, okay, what we call CO2, okay, it's neutrinos that are just stacked in a perfect order, and it was collected in there, all right? And because it's in perfect order, you know, a quartz crystal is not a solid and it's not a liquid. It's in a constant state of vibration, okay? It stores all of our memories. And that's where we're going with all of this stuff. And there are good times ahead. We've taken care of the AI. You guys just need to keep doing exactly what you're doing. If you got a cube, put a freaking infinity device in there, a capacitor of some sort, make a Trinity wire. It doesn't matter as long as it's yours, okay, and not somebody else's idea. Be creative. And together, you'll start to see that as we start combining these devices together, you're going to see light being formed. You're going to see the ionization of an entire energy field. You're going to see lift from the planet, okay? You're going to see free electricity in your homes. You're going to see free gas in your cars because these devices produce hydrogen instead of, burning the gas. There's a lot of potential with all of this stuff. This is the lastgreat.com. And if you want to invest in it, please do, okay? You can go to PayPal and you can use my email, mjnguardian@gmail.com. And you can make a donation, okay? And when you make a donation, I buy things like this stuff, 12-volt batteries with power inverters and stuff, so I can make power plants so that you guys can replicate it, all right? Because once I get this working, you don't need a power company. I can, as many plugs as I've got plugged into this thing, I'll be able to power their homes if I need to connect it to them directly, okay? That's how powerful it is. And I'm holding it right here in the palm of my hand, all right? It's that kind of device, and it's that kind of stuff that we're working with here that we want to bring to the public. And we can't do that while Facebook is suppressing us, while they're deleting our posts, while they're segregating and creating division, because I can't even befriend people that are in my county, okay? If I go to their page, it comes up blank, okay? All I get is their name and then a blank screen, okay? Sometimes I'll get a little image at the top that maybe their profile picture or their wall picture or something, and then it'll say message, and then the add friend part would be, the button would be completely gone, okay? They're messing with our post counts and things like that on our page. If I send out a post, people have been saying it doesn't show up on their feed for, 2 or 3 hours after it's been posted. Okay, and so they put this delay stuff just to work with us. So every Monday, I'll be here at 4 o'clock, okay, Central Standard Time. And with all of that being said, I love you guys. We're out. Go ahead and stop recording. Anuj.